All right, everybody. Oh, happy day. I hope you're just doing insanely well. I've got a very special guest on with us today. I've got Summer from ProspectBoss here, and we're going to dive into some of your problems that you're facing as an insurance agent, is specifically with final expense telesales, where you call a lead and you immediately feel like you get blocked. You get thrown straight to the voicemail, and you're not getting the pickups that you want to hopefully help you attain your profitability. So we're going to help kind of unpack this with you. Summer, say, hey, thank you for joining with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me on today.
I appreciate you. It's such a problem for a lot of insurance agents that are doing a lot of dialing. And then all of a sudden, it's like they hit this wall, right? They're trying to make the wealth and they hit this massive wall of almost getting like sent straight to voicemails and or even not getting it at all, right? It's just like the fast busy going on. Can you help the insurance agents out there understand what has been taking place recently? Because that wasn't as much of a problem in the past.
Yeah, so in early 2022, the FCC came out with Stir Shaken, which is a regulation that blocks a lot of calls that seem to be spam likely. So Prospect Boss developed an algorithm to help block that. So what was happening in the past, maybe some reasons, if you used us before and you were as successful as he used to be, then it could have been due to Sir Shaken. And we came up with an algorithm to surpass this with our system now. And it helps calls actually go through because in the past the issue was that the calls weren't even going through to the lead. So maybe you think that, oh, they're just sending me to voicemail, or oh, it's not ringing. But the problem is that, or they're ringing but not picking up. But the problem is that the phone wasn't ringing in the first place. So with this new algorithm that we developed with our solution, it helps the call go all the way through. And we also have rotating phone numbers available now too. So if you are a Prospect Boss user, you have a Prospect Boss number. But if you're new to the system or thought about checking it out before, you do have a number called a PB number. And we now offer rotating numbers to where you can buy up to, we recommend 5, rotating them in those increments about after like 70 calls or so. But if you just want to buy 1 or 2 to try it out, it's completely up to you. But yeah, so you can also register your phone number with the DID with us also, and that will help with certain phone carriers and not get blocked also. So we have a couple different things going on that's new to our system that's gonna just help increase your pickup rate with our solution. So you're already successful, well, this will just amplify that. Or if you're having trouble, then this will help you be more successful and set you on the right path.
Certain dialers out there, nothing against other dialers out there, but your guys' dialer software has been just amazing. We've got a lot of agents in our national agency here at jasonfinalexpense.com that utilize this dialer, and we sell a lot of final expense and life and annuities, and it's powerful because you get more pickups, right? And it's all about
Yeah.
getting those pickups. So anybody that needs more pickups, this is a big deal. I mean, the stir shake, and a lot of people didn't realize that it was even a thing. They
Yeah.
were using certain dialers and just why am I working all day and nobody's picking up? That's a problem.
Yeah, we just noticed that the connection rates were lower, so we researched and figured out that that was the problem because a lot of these things kind of slip under the seams, and it's
Mhm.
easy to miss these different regulations that pass. And the telesales industry can be a little tricky, and some people think spammy, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to help these people with the services that you're trying to bring to the table for them. So we're just trying to stay up to date with what's going on in the industry, why it's changed, and if there's been any struggles, and help figure out what those are and why.
That's huge for the industry. I mean, having a triple line dialer is massive, but if you're not getting the pickups, doesn't make a lot of sense for you, the audience. If you've got another type of triple line dialer, if it's using one number or two numbers, it's just burning those things. I mean, you go to that spam likely, scam likely really, really fast. In my experience, what I've seen with our agents that partner here, we've seen that happen a lot where they'll use a triple line dialer and it doesn't take real long before it's like immediately they're going nowhere. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you can call all day, but if they're not, if the leads aren't picking up, then it seems like maybe it's a problem with our system or a problem with the lead, but really it's just kind of outstanding circumstances that we have to try to work together to fight against.
the fact that you guys have already thought about that. That's seriously a game changer for a lot of agents because getting thrown for a loop. I mean, hand dialing, which we do hand dialing as well here, international agency, it's power. But when you're using an automation, you can go through a lot more numbers. You're more efficient. So I think that's where it gets you beyond that barrier where it throws you into that stir shaking problem. Is that what you've seen as well in the industry?
Seeing the
Where it
just
throws them into that stir shaking issue if they're using a triple line dialer, there's only like a single number that's or two
Oh,
numbers.
yes, yes, and honestly, the more you have on the dialer, sometimes it can be more likely to get thrown as spam, so, with this change, we've also kind of recommended trying 2 lines instead and rotating the numbers just because with 3, sometimes it can be easier to get flagged a little bit, so it's just kind of how those systems change also. We've also talked to our clients about that as well to consider using 2 lines instead just to help the calls actually go through and be more successful that way.
Absolutely. And you guys partnering with the insurance agents is powerful. Like, because there's nothing worse than getting your call blocked and you didn't even realize you were getting blocked. And the moment that that block is out of the way, you're going to sell more. And a lot of times, insurance agents, sometimes we can be cheap, right? We don't want to pay for certain things. And then it blows up on us and it costs us more than we thought. When it comes to a dialer, for those of you in the audience watching, be careful. There's a lot of choices out there. You want to have ones that are good, that know about stir shake, and that have already had the solution so that you can really get more profitability. Because it won't even matter if you've got a triple line dialer and you're getting thrown straight to getting blocked or direct to voicemail, and you don't even have an opportunity to say howdy to these clients. It's going to hurt you, my friends out there. So when it's not even ringing on the consumer's phone, that's going to cost you more cash than you're saving by using some of the resources out there. So that's big what you guys are doing. I love that. The way you guys rotate through to keep that agent kind of bulletproof from that. And you guys also have some things to help the spam risk happen as well. Maybe share with the audience some of that on their phone numbers.
Well, that would just be kind of the rotation of the phone
Mm-hmm.
numbers, getting more than one, and registering your phone number with a DID. So kind of some of the things I
Right.
already said, and just making sure you check all the things off the list. And those they can be found on our website. We have purchase links for all of them. And then you're always welcome to call our 800 number and ask any questions. We have a really great tech guy who is really great at answering any of those technical questions. If you're a little unsure about what any of this means, or maybe you understand, but you want to ask little more in-depth questions, and that's also a possibility too.
ProspectBoss.com
Mhm.
does a great job of getting real humans to pick up and helping you.
Yeah.
Some companies don't have real humans. It's like sit back and wait, and you're losing money. Your wallet's getting thinner the longer that agents are waiting to get a hold of a human. You guys do excel at that.
That's
Um,
definitely us. If we're always make sure every call gets answered and then returned, even if it's past business hours, then our tech team looks at the calls and makes sure everybody gets their phone call returned the next day, if that's the case, if it's missed at least. But yeah, all throughout the day, it's live humans picking up the phone, ready to help.
live humans instead of one for this and two for that, right?
Mhm.
Helps the agents, and I'm proud of you guys. And we've been using as an agency here, and we run a national agency here where we recruit and partner with just powerful insurance agents at jasonfinalexpense.com. We've got crazy amount of agents that have used you for years. For those of you the audience viewing, years we have used Prospect Boss, especially when you got a bunch of age leads to accelerate the pickups and to accelerate the work. If you got 1,000 aged leads, that's like this insurmountable pile of leads to go through. And if you're single line dialing, right, where for those of you the viewers that may be new at this, a single line dialer is like using your hands. You got one phone number and one call at a time. For those of the viewers and the audience, maybe Summer, help them understand, what does a triple line dialer do for them? What is this going to be a game changer in their careers? How's this going to look going from like a
Triple
single line
line
person to triple?
Triple line dialer, it'll have 3 different calls on the queue at once. So in the Prospect Boss system, you'll see 3 different names, and then the calls will be going through. And a lot of questions, or a lot of people ask, well, what happens if 2 people pick up at once? Well, we have a system for that. And if you're already on a call and someone else, another prospect answers, then our system just kind of seems like it shuts down and buffers a little bit until you can answer that next call. It won't hang up on them or put them on hold necessarily. It just seems like it's kind of hesitating to go through almost. So that way, once you're finished with your other call, then you could just hop back on the other one. But just it's just a numbers game. So you're tripling your productivity. So you can do 200 calls per hour is our average rate that you could do with a triple line dialer. You know, may depend on you, your productivity, how fast you work, from anywhere to 150 to 200. That's what we like to say per hour with our lines. But you know, if you're using a single line dialer and you're just using your actual phone, well, then you're just sitting there typing in and then waiting and calling. But with our system, you already have all those prospects on the system. So then you could just go through and select them that way, have all three of them queued up and just run through. So just a numbers game. You're, you know, tripling your productivity and you already have everything in the system ready for you. And you can make notes or adjust things accordingly that way versus just picking up your phone and calling and getting distracted with, you know, maybe other outsiding things on your phone. So this just helps with it all being in a web browser too.
Is huge. I mean, 200 calls an hour to have that capacity. That's a big deal. And I mean, and for those of you in the audience, you know, I've said it a million times. If you got fresh leads, use your fingers, right? But if you've got dated leads, use a dialer for goodness sakes. 200 calls an hour. This is a force multiplier for you. It just is. If you're an insurance agent sitting on a bunch of leads and you're like, oh, wow, I feel lost right now. This is leverage. This will make a hard job easier, right? It just, I mean, 200 calls an hour, that's power to be able to go through potentially 1,000 leads in 10 hours or less. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, even if you're going to 100, you know, calls an hour, you're 10 hours deep. That's fast. You go
Yeah.
200, that's quick. I mean, in one day, you could basically penetrate a pile of leads and get through and hopefully get more pickups. This is a big deal. I mean, getting through your leads, most agents would maybe only penetrate through a couple hundred, maybe in a week, going through their lead stack, just depending on how fast they dial, if they're hand dialing. So 200 calls an hour, that's impressive. Um, that is very impressive for agents to know that this is possible. Because a lot of agents don't know that they even have the ability to use a triple line dialer or to know what that is. Is it for an agent that's like not tech savvy? What would that process look like where they go, hey, you know, Summer, I've got this pile of leads here. I got 1,000 leads. How do I get these leads into your system so that I can start seeing hopefully success where people pick up? How does this work for them?
Well, we do have, before you even start, we have webinars and we also have trainings. They're very big on our YouTube channel, but we also have an onboarding specialist that will help walk you through on an overview of the system. And then we also do have a live tech person, like to live tech support all day, that can help walk you through how to do different things as well. As far as like uploading leads, you can do that via a CSV file. So you can just upload your leads. If you already, maybe you already have a bunch of leads, you know, to bring them into your system when you just upload those. And as far as the technical side of things go, like I said, we have a lot of how-to videos on our YouTube, and then also we have a support team that can help as well, an onboarding specialist that helps you get comfortable and you can ask them any questions before we get started. Just a lot of people on the team are knowledgeable about how the system works, so we're not gonna leave you hanging. There's no hardware or anything. It's all on your web browser, so you don't it's not anything that you have to download and buy and, you know, put in. It's just gonna be on your computer too. So that kind of helps a lot of people because they're nervous about the setup fees or installing all the hardware that takes up a lot of space in their computer. It's not really the case with Prospect Boss. So we have a lot of resources to help you on the technical side if you're not very tech savvy.
That's awesome because there's a lot of insurance agents that aren't tech savvy, right? And they're like,
Mhm.
what is this all about? So the fact that they know that they can come to you and be like, all right, here we go, download the information, your leads from a CSV file, put them in there, and then everything's ready to go. It's not going to bog down a computer. As long as they got internet and access, they're good to go.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. As long as you have internet access in the web browser, then you're good to go. We have an app as well, but there's more success with using the web browser, but the app, you know, if you're traveling or something like that, then it could be useful. Or if you're just driving a lot or something, need to make some calls when they're driving, then that could be an option too.
That's awesome. And service is important, especially for an agent that struggles in the technology side. And an agent that is brand new, if they got 3 calls, right, triple line dialing, 3 going on, does their screen populate with the one that picks up? Is that how that works, so that they know what they're going to see kind of on their screen when a person does pick up the phone?
It'll be like an orange, have orange, like a reddish orange, yellow, and then a green. So when someone does pick up, it's a green color, so you know that they're talking to you. Orange will kind of be stalling or on hold. The red is they didn't answer. That's how you know it lights up kind of, it's color coded almost, and it has on hold, like in the corner, it has like on hold, calling, didn't answer, or something like that, and then it'll like rotate to the next.
That makes it easy. Kind of like a stoplight, right? You got the green
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
pause and
it
then red stop.
literally is
Genius.
like a stoplight, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that makes it easy. And do you guys, for those final expense telesales agents that are using you guys, just for those of the viewers watching Alaska Summer here, do you have the ability to do a 3-way phone call to like how we need to do with the carriers? If you got a client on the line with your dialer, do you have the capability for them to tie in a 3-way phone call to the insurance carrier to complete the interview in your interface that you
I'm
have there?
not sure about that. We'll have to ask the tech team. Haven't been asked that before, but we'll have to get back to you on that one.
All right. But it's a good thing. I mean, you guys
Mhm.
have done great, and our guys have no problem using it. The 3-way call is awesome. So it's nice to know you can take a consumer from, hi, how are you? Get them to pick up, take them through your processes, and then complete everything. But if you're going through 1,000 leads, for those of you that need age leads, we can get your resources on that at jasonfinalexpense.com. But you really want to have a force multiplier, like a dialer like this, so that you can get through those digits. More digits you get through, the more dollars you can hopefully make. And 200 calls an hour is a game changer for you if you're just racking your head against a wall right now. So a dialer like this may be a good solution for you. So something to just think about, with a dialer. What are some other things with your dialer that could bring an insurance agent value? You've got the triple line dialer, so that triples their efficiency on leads. You've got the stir, shake, and kind of out thought, so to speak, so they can get through. What are some other things that your dialer does that they may need to be aware of?
We have different marketing automations as well. So we're not just the dialer. We have SMS, text messaging, video messaging. Video messaging is pretty neat because it could be like a quick video, not anything production. Just, hey, sent you a text. Hey, saw you were interested in the house, something quick and simple to send to maybe get their attention a little bit differently than a normal text or call. And then we also have ringless voicemail drops, which is where
Okay.
you can call a prospect's phone and it won't ring or disturb them. It'll just go straight to voicemail. So it's almost like their phone's on do not disturb or something, and it just goes straight to voicemail, whether or not, they have it on that function. So that way, the idea behind that is just if they see that they got a missed voicemail, but they didn't hear their phone ring, well, they would be a little intrigued and then see who called, listen to the message, and then maybe be more intrigued to call back. And then we also have email marketing and we have automated drip campaigns that you could set up to engage with the lead over a span of time. It can go up to a year, but you can do it like every couple weeks or every week or so, like send an email, send a text message, send a video message or something, and to just keep nurturing that lead throughout the process.
You've really
And
thought the nurturing campaign. That's big.
yeah. And then we do have the Lifesaver leads. It was called Sales Data List,
Mhm.
which is our data company or data store essentially, but we rebranded to Lifesaver Leads recently, but that'll be T65, Medicare leads and different things in that insurance spectrum. But as far as like along with the dialer, we do have the marketing automations.
That's huge for an agent that kind of needs a turnkey dialer and isn't really attuned to tech. I mean, that's the beautiful part. The men and women here in our agency use your stuff, and it's power. We've been using it for years, and it's a force multiplier for somebody that doesn't have a bunch of brand new leads. Now, new leads, for those of you watching, you can use your fingers, right? They just clicked on the Facebook lead or just bought a lead. Just go call them, right? Action will fix all your problems. But if that lead's getting old, this is a way to really kind of get some juice out of that squeeze without just going insane hand dialing. You'll lose your mind on a bunch of old age leads doing it with their hands. It's not like you can't do it, but you're going to have twisted up fingers after a while. So this is a game changer for a lot of agents. So that is awesome. So huge solutions, triple line dialing, 200 calls an hour capability. Anything else that the audience needs to know about with your systems? You guys do good service. You pick up the phone, you help an agent understand how to download their data so they can get dialing and hopefully making dollars. That's everything. For final expense telesales, we need to keep it simple, right? We got to buy leads and go serve these great people.
Yeah. And then we do have, the trials and everything too. If someone is interested in trying this out, but they're not really ready to commit yet. We have different trials on our website, but yeah, we do different bundles as well. If any data products are needed, a lot more so for we do like a lot of real estate data bundles. So I know it's a little insurance centric, but just throwing that out there. And then, but yeah, we have the dialer, the marketing automations and the stir shaken, algorithms. And then we do have the rotating phone numbers and registering your number with a DID as well. So I have a couple of different options to help you be more successful in the dialer and prospecting realm.
Awesome. Well, Summer, thank you for joining with us. Those of you in the audience, make sure you subscribe to the Prospect Boss and go to their website, prospectboss.com, if you need any of these resources. And I'll put their link up here or down here. So go subscribe, follow them. They're one of the greatest solutions that I know of for you final expense telesales agents. Thanks for joining with me. Thanks again, Summer.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me.